Hey folks, this is Eric from Support Adventure, and I'm coming to you from Thailand, where I'm, currently making a bunch of videos to help MSPs understand, what our bird's eye view of the industry has allowed us to sort of understand. And one of the things that I find a lack of understanding on a lot of smaller MSPs is what the difference between a service desk manager and a dispatcher, a service desk coordinator is. So the difference is essentially one of them is a management role, and that's the service desk manager, and one of them is a supervisor role, like the service desk coordinator or the dispatcher is a supervisor role. Both of them really need to be motivated to get the most out of the service desk, the technicians that are assigned, and keep the most amount of order on there. But the difference is the service desk manager is the person who defines the way the order is run, and the dispatcher is the one who sort of enforces and runs that order and behaves along with those procedures that are set by the service desk manager. So basically, it's very easy to sort of confuse the two, and it's very easy to assume that a dispatcher is, either you can assume that a dispatcher is a brainless sort of intern that's just going to answer the phone and assign tickets to random technicians. No, it's not that. Or you can assume that the service desk manager is going to be assigning the tickets and answering the phone and doing that. No, it's not that. It's an intermediary role where the dispatcher has the authority to sort of assign and unassign tickets, escalate tickets and all this stuff, and shift around the engineer's schedules and sort of ask them constantly, why haven't you done this? Why are the notes on this ticket? And sort of prod them like a mother would say, son, did you brush your teeth? And if the technicians don't get into the right habits of brushing their teeth or, writing their ticket notes, then the dispatcher's job becomes easy. And basically, once there's a system and people are following the system, and the dispatcher is running that system and looking at the boards every day, seeing which tickets don't have next steps or, a path for resolution, seeing which ones need to be escalated, so on and so forth, seeing which ones are coming in, assigning that to the proper technician and everything like that. Right, so you have them running that system. And then the service desk manager is the architect of the system, the person who's looking at the stuff that doesn't fit in the system, the stuff that's coming out the side of the system in terms of complaints from clients, major incidents that weren't handled very well, escalations that can't be solved because of a structural lack of documentation, or things that technicians don't know what to do, like billing inquiries. Why doesn't he know that that has to be sent to Rhonda in the accounts department? We need to define that in writing. He needs to curate the documentation that the rest of the people are doing their job with. And so there's a real difference between these two roles. And we find that a dispatcher wouldn't be the best at making calls on how the processes of the service desk are changed. And the service desk manager wouldn't be the person who's going to sit down and consistently run the processes that the dispatcher is supposed to be enforcing and implementing with the technicians. So they're two very different types of people. The dispatcher should be a very motivated, sort of detail-oriented person who is looking at a methodical way of dealing with every sort of task. And the manager should be a very more sort of big picture person, systems thinking sort of person, who will actually look at the tickets and that the dispatcher doesn't know how to solve, the complaints and everything like that, and looking at how to make the system work better, looking at the statistics, talking to everybody involved in the process and seeing where they feel friction in the process, seeing what's happening smoothly, seeing what's happening in a way that frustrates people, and making changes to the system based on that. And so that's a big difference between the two roles. And once you get more than 5 or 7 people in your MSP, you will need people doing those two roles. As the owner of the business, you could do the management role if you're a small MSP, but you need somebody, if they're a technician, that's fine, doing the dispatch role and looking at every ticket on the board every day to make sure that next steps are actually apparent or scheduled in the ticket. And once you get those two roles happening in your company, even if you're a company of 2 people or 3 people, still implement those 2 roles, because what you do to scale a business is you define the roles. And even if one person's wearing 2 or 3 hats at the beginning, eventually you would give them that role. When you hire a new person, you would give them that role. So get the roles defined in writing, get the systems and procedures that someone like a dispatcher or a service coordinator is following, and then look at how that whole system works from above, asset manager, business owner, so on and so forth. Thanks a lot. My name is Eric from Support Adventure. If you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we're available to consult on this stuff. We've got lots of great staff that we could give you: first level, second level, third level engineers. We've got dispatchers. We can even help you with service desk management. So that's what our company does: staffing plus consultation. And we approach it globally. We've got people all over the world in many different countries, and whatever your problem is with the operational side of an MSP, we can probably help, or at least have a productive discussion about it. So thanks a lot. Hope you're doing well, and have a great day. Bye now.